Night Demon is going to join us soon, but first he put the recording box and then he will be here to join us and we will talk about the Renegades. We're back. Are we better than ever? I don't know, but we're back and there's snow on the ground and it feels like Christmas. So we're basically back. It's basically Christmas and you should stop whatever you're doing and just, take the day off. Go sit down, play your favorite game, and just, ignore your adult responsibilities for the day. They're just not important. Nothing is happening out there that needs your attention today. Do the things you need to do. Feed your kids, feed yourself, clothe yourself, walk your dog, feed your pets. But besides that, just, sit down, relax, and play some games. You don't need to be an adult today. Just snuggle in with us for some more Destiny 2 chat.
Hello there.
Hello, Night Demon. Welcome back to Cozy Holiday Time Destiny 2 Talk.
Okay.
You're live on the air.
Is that your intro for this week?
That and a little bit more you'll have to enjoy in the recording.
Fair enough. Well, does that mean I just roll the titles and we get going?
I suppose we shall.
Ho, ho, ho! Merry Christmas! And welcome to the Two Titans and a Hunter Destiny 2 podcast, a show dedicated to bringing you the latest intel, the mightiest news, and the boldest opinions from the farthest reaches of the Sol system. Whether you're a bright-eyed new Guardian, fresh from the Cosmodrome, or a battle-hardened veteran of the Red War, this is your Destiny destination. We'll arm you with tips, tricks, and tower-worthy tools to help you triumph, thrive, and revel in the glory of the fight. So without further ado, let's get on with the show.
Shall we start with This Week in Destiny this week?
I guess we should. There's really nothing there to talk about. It's just, hey, we put a bunch of other articles. Go read all of those.
Yeah.
Or just, go play the game and don't read anything. Let us tell you what you should have read. That's what we're here for anyway.
Yeah. So have you welcomed people to the show? Do they know it's Nitedemon and Peroty? Or do they know it's Peroty and Nitedemon?
I have not welcomed people to the show. They do not know that I am Nitedemon and you are Peroty, and we are both Titans here to talk about Destiny. Wait, strike that. Reverse it. I'm Peroty. You're Nitedemon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Our hunters off in the winds doing recon, or getting quite upset about a skin that was released that I called a long time ago, and they didn't get the skin that they wanted, so they're upset. But anyway, we'll talk about that later. So yeah, This Week in Destiny for the 4th of December. We're at December already. I cannot believe it. We've kind of this whole year has kind of gone so fast.
I don't know how we got here. I don't know why I'm still here, but we're here. We made it.
Just. So This Week in Destiny, they're celebrating the launch of Renegades. Whether you've dived in already and completed the story, or you're already preparing for the dungeon race coming up, that's what they're going to talk about in the TWAB this week. So, there's Cosplay Cosmodrome. That's landed again. Twitch drops and Discord quests. Stream overlays for everyone, no matter who you are. If you're not streaming, you can still have a stream overlay and pictures and things that do things. And you can check out the upcoming Renegades Bungie rewards. Plus, they've got some new details on the dungeon race. So, what is new in the dungeon race? Is it different from all the other dungeon races that they've had? Because it still sounds the same. That it starts. We have Evan F 1997 and CB Grey doing their shoutcast from Bungie HQ, telling us who's doing stuff in the dark and who's covering up their screen so that nobody can see and things like that.
Yeah. They're going to tell us all about things. You can earn a Paranoia Pink emblem for watching as a drop on Twitch or as a giveaway code across all of CB Gray's channels. Yeah. And the emblem will be available from December 13th at 9 a.m. PT to December 14th at 9 a.m. PT. So you have 24 hours. even if you can't sit down and watch it, because it's a dungeon race. You're going to sit down, tune in here and there. Grab your phone, grab your computer, just set up Twitch, make sure you're getting that emblem code, and then just dip in and see who's doing well, who's doing poorly, and who has already given up and said this simply cannot be done.
Well, they've added the French to the streaming team. Well, I say streaming team. It says for the French viewers, you can tune into Merge One and Tama Uzaga's channels to catch the action of the world's first dungeon race in French. So if you fancy that, if you're learning French, it helps, I guess. My daughter does this thing where she watches a TV program, but she'll have the subtitles on of like Spanish or French or whatever she wants to kind of learn. And maybe you could do that. Maybe you just tune in to have the French on one side and then CB Gray on the other side, and see what they're all talking about. Maybe you could learn something at the same time.
Get both going in stereo. Get one French in one ear, English in the other ear. See if you can figure it out.
Yeah. And guess what? The Twitch drops are enabled on their channels as well. So you can go and join them and get the Twitch drop on their channels. That's cool.
There we go. Paranoia Pink in all the languages. The requirements look largely the same. You need to own Renegades. You need to have a leader. You need to have filled out a little form. I did see that Esoteric pointed out that a fire team of 3 players is needed to launch the activity. Yes. And there was some speculation on maybe that's an anti-cheat measure, so someone isn't going in with cheats on and just blowing through it all immediately. So if they do that, they have to have 2 friends also with cheats on to blow through it on them. Blow through it all immediately.
I don't think you're meant to be telling the cheats that they can do that. Not that anybody that cheats listens to the show, but somebody
or that they need me to tell them what they can and cannot do because they're already taking that into their own hands. But I just thought it was interesting. Yeah, you can't.
Yeah.
So I guess if you're looking for a solo clear, you have to at least load in with 3 people. So maybe once you launch the activity, then you can send your 2 other friends away and continue your solo run. But you do need 3 to launch it, and you must be at a minimum 370 power level, which anybody I imagine who's playing should be at. And honestly, we all started at 300 with the box that dropped and set everybody there. So 70 points isn't a terrible lot to get in a week if you, for some reason, are coming back or trying to grind your way to it. And not swap is still enabled, and people are still grumpy about it.
Yeah, I don't understand, because it's been a thing for quite some time. So you should be used to it, maybe. Who knows?
Yeah. Or you'll just be upset and it doesn't matter because it is what it is. And you'll either be doing it or you'll be watching it and getting your emblem for it.
But they do note that the orbs and ammo bricks are no longer affected by not swap, so they won't disappear this time. Because they disappeared last time, didn't they? They put that into the not swap. If you swapped, everything would kind of disappear. So this time, yeah, it's fine. It's fine.
Yeah, it's fine. It's better. Everything's okay.
So they've got until, if you want to do the dungeon race, you have to have the forms filled in by next Friday. So that must be is it the 12th? I believe that they said before. You have to have it all filled in before then, or before the dungeon race goes live. So do it by Friday. Do it by the 12th. And then at least then it's done, dusted, and nominate somebody to stream.
There you go. And we'll be watching you. Good luck.
We will, because some of us have work when that goes live. So sad times.
Just want the Paranoia Pink emblem, because what's not to love about that?
Yeah, free emblem. Love a free emblem. Just give me all the free stuff. There's that. And then we have the Cosplay Cosmodrome. That's landed again. So that was something that they launched earlier in the week, wasn't it? Or they said they did give you a kind of blog post. And I think the TWAB links to the blog post's pictures as well. So yeah, they're pretty cool. Somebody actually dressed up as the Drifter. And
of course,
very realistic Drifter. Yeah, we've got Eris. Looks pretty cool. So some of these they just look so amazing. Like, looks like AI to me. I sometimes you can't tell these days what's AI and what's actually kind of real. Some of these cosplays are just so amazing that they've put so much effort into them, and the lighting and the way that they've kind of taken the pictures.
Yeah. The pictures themselves are incredible, and putting them, I'm assuming all these people don't have access to nice sandy beaches or dunes, or maybe Earthsborn does have access to dunes.
Yeah,
but yeah, just the quality of the photography and the quality of the caricatures characters are just unreal. I keep wanting to call him Gaul, or not Gaul, but Gaul is unreal. I mean, just unreal.
Yeah. So if you want to check those
Well
out,
done,
we will link that in the show notes to check out the Cosplay Cosmodrome. So that's pretty cool to go and have a look at, see what these guys have been up to. And then we've got Renegades has launched, and they want to catch up.
It's here.
It's here. We've played it.
Have you done your Discord quest? I didn't really know Discord quests were a thing. I opened Discord earlier this week and it was like, there's a quest, get it, go do it now. I was like, oh, okay.
Well, it's got a shader attached. It's a free shader.
What happens?
And I really want the shader. But then I've also got a streak going on my Xbox where it says I've been offline for nearly over a year. And because hiding from my children, it started off hiding from like my wife when I was playing Destiny so that I didn't get into trouble. But then my children have kind of made it worse because they were like, Dad, you've been offline for X amount of time. It's just constantly set to being offline. But to get the shader, I need to go and reveal myself online so that the game knows that I'm playing, so that Discord knows I'm playing to get the shader. So I'm caught in between. Ooh. What do I do? I know.
Oh, conundrum. Do you break your nearly year-long hidey streak to get your shader, or just say, you know what, it's an ink-drawn shader, which I'm sure is very nice, but is it worth the streak breaking? I don't know. I guess we'll have to find out.
Yeah. I'm gonna have to break it.
Break? Yeah,
or right. I play on a different system. Mm-hmm. If I play on a different system, if I play on Steam or PlayStation, because they're registered to my name, I might be able to get it.
Just a mere 30 minutes on either console or desktop. And if you don't know what we're talking about and haven't opened your Discord and it yelled at you that there were Discord quests going on, they have a link in the TWAB, but also discord.com/quest-home. I guess we'll get you to all of the quests. So for there's some for PUBG Battlegrounds, Destiny, Fortnite. There's a Microsoft Edge quest for some reason, Fallout 76. There's a bunch of things in here.
Yeah.
I don't know. I guess you get orbs. I don't honestly know. As an old, I don't know what orbs are. I don't know why Discord wants me to have orbs, but you can claim up to 700 Discord orbs for some of these things. Like the Edge quest. And then some of them, like, Destiny gives you a shader. There's a avatar decoration for Fortnite. There's a PUBG vest of some sort for in-game. So yeah, some of it's in-game rewards, some of it's Discord orbs, which I'm sure is related to all the pop-up things they show me and say, play this, do this, you can earn currencies. Which, as they know, we love a currency. Everyone needs more currencies.
Yeah.
No, we don't.
No, okay. But you can get more stuff if you watch people playing Destiny on Twitch. And that's pretty cool. So you can, on Twitch, watch an opted-in Destiny 2 streamer for 30 minutes between December 2nd at 9 a.m. PT and December 12th at 9 a.m. PT to receive the Unwritten Patience emblem. Or if you watch for 4 hours, you will also receive the Sherwood Wanderer exotic ship. If I watch myself playing, does that count? Possibly.
Maybe we'll have to find out. So have you gotten all your stream overlays so you can make sure you are a professional renegader? Ooh.
I'm doing that now because I thought I'll do that live on the show to tell people about it. So I'll link it in the show notes, but it literally, you go to the Get Wrecked site and it says, do you want this? And it's free. And then you have to put in some information about you and an email address, and then it gets sent to you, I guess, via email. I'm going to check my emails live. My emails live say, dun, 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 if I can find my emails live. Order confirmed. I can download. So you get an email and it says download. So I'm going to do that now while we're doing stuff. But yes, I've got my free overlays. Who doesn't love a Destiny Star Wars crossover overlay?
Oh, they're excellent. Just the artwork. I've really appreciated how far they've taken it and how much they've really leaned into the Star Wars thing. With just, I mean, the artwork was always going to be there, but just some of the audio, the sound, the music, some of the musical score. It is, like they said, it is Star Wars in Destiny. It's still very much a Destiny game, but there is so much Star Wars ambience running around and playing it. It's been enjoyable.
So I'm just downloading now.
It's important. Well,
It is.
while you're doing that, I can also head over and see if any of my Renegades Bungie rewards are available, because there's new ones.
Ooh.
I can unlock the Renegades campaign pin. Have to do that by April 30th, 2026. God, it's 2026 already, next year.
Yeah.
The Renegade title pin, again, same thing, end of April. The Lawless Frontier display medal poster, complete all job-related primary objectives in the Lawless Frontier. Again, you've got till the end of April, so plenty of time for all those things. If you want your, again, very, very Star Wars-looking themed Lawless pin plate and all that good stuff in the rewards. There's also all purchases made during Renegades will come with the secret weapon emblem as a gift with purchase. So, again, very much ship flying through a particular vent. I don't know, is the vibe I get of this, and nice little map iconography. I don't know, I dig it.
Yeah.
And in our action-packed, just chock full of information TWAB, we're now down to the known issues list and our player support report.
We could just cut it off there. We do the known issues, and then we'll go, and we're just go and continue playing, and then we come back next week and tell everybody our views on it. But
yeah, we'll be done.
Could.
So yeah, there's loads of error code. So players who this is not me, Bungie. This is you. Players who preview have loadouts with Worm God Caress. So I'm guessing players who either preview a loadout or have a loadout with the Worm God Caress equipped in it, or loadouts with the exotic ornaments equipped will encounter a weasel error. So if you have a loadout with an exotic armor ornament, or if you look at or have Worm God Caress equipped, you may encounter weasel errors. So these can be mitigated by overriding or updating the loadout to remove these items temporarily using the Destiny Companion app or a third-party app like Dim or Little Light or any of those. As the new refresh loadouts that include these exotics will not cause the error. So basically, remove anything involving any of your exotic ornaments or Worm God Caress from any of your loadouts if you're getting weasel errors, and then you'll be able to, load into the game, presumably, and play it. Sometimes I struggle to read, and sometimes Bungie just doesn't proofread. But yeah, so it's a team effort in, trying to be competent and literate. For our Renegades campaign, players may encounter soft locks within the first Renegades mission trash compactor section when destroying the jammers too quickly. Players can circumvent this issue by restarting the encounter or waiting for the game to point to the jammer to shoot, then shooting the jammer with a non-explosive weapon that has no lingering effects. We're aware of an issue where players can soft lock while opening the game interface while Drifter's cutscene plays in the Tharsis Cantina. While a fix is being investigated, it is recommended not to open your inventory, quest log, or menus until the quest progresses to progress the issue. So they're saying, sit there, shut up, and listen to the Drifter talk. He wants to say something to you, don't press any buttons. Alternatively, pressing escape on PC or the /cancel button on controller to skip the cutscene avoids this issue. If you're in a stuck state, you can also change characters to get out of it. So either sit down, listen to the cutscene, or just ignore it entirely, which I know some people will do, and then you're all set. We've identified an issue worthy Welcome to the Frontier mission where the Piker gang may not spawn properly. Me. I found that. While we work on a fix, we recommend letting the objective update to defeat Piker crew before killing any of the drags or crouching through the tunnel, as this should allow you to progress normally. So no crouching in the tunnel to help it work? Because I started playing through the campaign just on normal, and I got to the room and it was like, defeat Piker crew. And I was like, what Piker crew? There's nobody here. So I ran around that room probably for 10, 15 minutes.
Yeah.
Thinking maybe there was something I had to pick up, some box I had to interact with. Nope, it just never progressed, never loaded. I even pulled up a video and I was like, am I doing something wrong? Is there some tiny box in a corner I need to shoot or interact with? Nope, it just didn't actually load anything in. So I just restarted the mission and ran back in, and then it worked. We're also investigating an issue where players are unable to enter the Hawk at the start of the Welcome to Frontier mission. You can work around this by unselecting your Renegade abilities and relaunching the mission, then selecting the Renegade abilities, as they should also resolve the issue, allowing you to progress. Ran into this one too, because when I had to restart the mission when my Piker crew didn't show up, I couldn't actually board the plane because the gangway never came down for me to board it.
Okay.
So yeah, and interacting with the shank did not work. Like I could select abilities, deselect abilities. I basically had to remove the abilities entirely. Like, just reset so I had no renegade abilities at all. Then relaunch the mission. Then go in, select my abilities. Then the plane thing opened, and then we were good. And also, I think I had to listen to Spider, Drifter, whoever finish talking before it opened as well. Because I did that the first time. Even after the dialogue ended, nothing happened. I was just in the room with the shank forever. So, my advice, reload things, take all your renegade abilities off, reload it again, and let everybody finish talking before you try to do anything, because a lot of things wait for that audio cue to finish. So, just walk slowly down hallways and apparently don't crouch, because that's a whole thing. The final mission of the Renegade campaign will not auto-launch in the legendary difficulty if launched from the activity flag. The correct mission difficulty can be selected manually. So I guess if you've done the entire legendary campaign, you'll get to the end and go, that last mission was awfully easy because you just played it on normal, I'm guessing?
Yeah.
So go back and redo it?
You go to the flag and it just automatically says, right, you can launch. So if you don't actually look into the going, is it on normal or is it on legendary? Which I seem to do for every kind of campaign pop-up. I just go back and check and go, oh yeah, it's still on legendary. Just nothing through like fault of Bungie, just like paranoia from myself that I've done something in the game somewhere along the lines to put myself back on kind of normal. So I'm like, just make sure I'm just doing it all on legendary. But I did see that issue that automatically does that.
Yeah, it's not that we don't trust you, Bungie. It's that we don't trust you, Bungie.
No.
So there we go. Yeah, that one I haven't hit yet because I have not gotten through the campaign. But I hit the first two, and it's very frustrating. Like getting past, in mission 2, then going, why can't I do anything? So if you have made it through the campaign and are entering the lawless frontier, the invaders will not be sent back to the ready room if they are traveling quickly or completely stop moving on a vehicle as the final timeout occurs. This can prevent them from receiving rewards. So apparently if you've invaded, you don't want to travel too quickly, you don't want to completely stop moving, or be on a vehicle. So you want to be moving slowly, walking somewhere outside of a vehicle's range when your timer ends to make sure you get your rewards.
Yeah, of course you do.
Yeah, your invaders who die as they are getting teleported back may experience rapid teleport visual effects. You have been lost in the transporter, and we're trying to put you back together. Hopefully that'll work out. In rare cases, invaders who die while they are getting teleported away are not brought back to the ready room after they respawn, once again blocking their ability to claim their rewards. It sounds like just don't invade. You just shouldn't invade. Just a bad idea. It's very dangerous. The technology is still beta. We haven't quite worked it out. Also, jammer panels cannot be damaged while players are radiant. So, sorry, fire and computers don't mix. They don't care for it. Players are occasionally encountering an activity block in sabotage, where objectives do not progress after destroying all of the objective items. Congratulations, mission failed. Titans who enter brig vehicles with the thruster class ability and sword equipped are unable to exit the vehicle. Okay, sure. So yeah,
Yep.
Even if you're running around with your sword, no thrusters for you, because then you'll
Nope.
get stuck on vehicles.
I don't want to get stuck.
You're too bulky. Your big shoulders are too big. The thrusters, they're too bulky. You can't get out of the door again. It's a whole thing. All right, now we have activities. Exotic missions and pinnacle ops are not unlocking their associated weapons, catalysts, and intrinsic for players who have not earned them yet. So there is no reason to run them if you are trying to earn any of those things, because currently you cannot. The suppressor buff in the astral alignment is not suppressing abominations. Players are experiencing game crashes due to the witness encounter of the Iconoclast mission from the final shape. If anyone finds a workaround, please let us know while we investigate a fix.
Help me to help you. Help me to help you.
Yeah, totally unrelatedly, the open access, basically the, hey, everybody play the game for free and get access to all the things, they extended that another week.
Yes.
I think, primarily or in large part due to this, because if you can't get past the mission, then what are you doing next? You're kind of stuck on the mission you have to play and then can't complete. So yeah, I did appreciate the we're working on a fix, but if anyone finds a workaround in the meantime, could you tell us? Because we'd be curious to find out. But don't worry, we're not done yet. Weapons and abilities. While some exotic armors are equipped, the new year bonus stat for the damage resistance is not increasing when hovering over the artifact. This is a display-only issue. Your exotics are applying their resistances, but are not increasing it on the display. Trust us, it's working, it's just not telling you that it's working. Players experiencing issues meditating at Ikora to unlock additional subclass options should check if they have acquired the exotic subclass quests and try abandoning those. So yeah, you can't meditate and have the quest. She doesn't care for it.
No.
Using Shatter Dive and shattering crystals does not activate Frost Armor as intended. Heavy ammo grenade launchers cannot pick up enhanced ammo bricks. Again, they're too big, they don't fit in, square brick round slot doesn't work. The new Malpays and the Wolfsbane exotic catalysts are not progressing from kills, so you don't get those, sorry. French and Spanish dialogue audio from The Edge of Fate is missing. If anyone has seen it, please let Bungie know. The worm brulee emote is not playing the correct animation. I don't know what emote the worm brulee is, but I'm going to have to look that up. And the without ceremony exotic ornament for Icebreaker does not display the correct visuals. Maybe it's showing worm brulee? Don't know. And that is our known issues for the week. So, thing you have to play for free is broken. Quest doesn't work at sometimes. At least it seems like if you get past the second mission of the quest, before the last mission of the quest, it seems like the rest of it's working out okay. So that's good. Have you run into any other known issues or weirdnesses that you've encountered that Bungie has not told us about?
Yeah, I was doing the exotic mission yesterday with Noble and Hoops, and we were doing the second part of it to go and get the catalyst. And there's a bit in it where you have to shoot the kind of taken nodes and then start off kind of going off through a jumping puzzle. And we'd already failed at it because it starts a timer basically for 30 minutes. And you have to kind of jump down, do this jumping puzzle and shoot these things and collect these things and do weird and wonderful things. And we'd failed it. And it takes us back to the starting room with the blights and you have to shoot these things to start it off again. And I said to them, okay, you guys stay in the room. I'll jump down. And once I get to the first node that I need to kind of destroy, you shoot the things and it will start the timer. And then that way I'll be ahead and do this kind of thing. So we shot 3 of them, left one up. And I started on my route and then Noble followed and was going the normal route because there's 2 different routes that you can kind of go. And as Noble came down as well, Hoops was like, the things have gone and there's no timer. But I went to the first node and was able to destroy it. And I was like, oh, okay, so if we've got no timer, maybe it's not going to work. And we restarted the mission to get the timer again. But what it sounds like, it's a glitch in the Matrix and you can get away without doing the timer if you shoot the last node and then jump down the hole. It takes away the timer so you can do the exotic mission and get the catalyst without the timer working. And it was only on a video that I saw afterwards that works. And I was like, Noble, we could have done it without timer, but we did it with the timer. But I think we had 30 seconds left when we got to the end. Yeah,
we could have done this at a leisurely pace and opted not to. See, that's the kind of hardcore gamer Nitedemon is. He says, "I have found the glitch and I choose not to use it."
I didn't know it was a glitch. I thought it would be I thought it would stop us actually progressing it, and I was like, "Oh,
right,
we'll have to restart again." And it wasn't until I saw a video afterwards.
Yeah, that early in the season, it's like, is this broken? Will I get soft locked somewhere? Have I like clearly something is broken, but is it broken in my favor or not?
And it was, and we didn't realize.
Oh, too funny. And that's it for the 12. We have our new big bad here, Dredgen Bale, looking good in red and artwork, and a new exotic mission, new trick shot from for our movie of the week. Dawning's almost here. Get your Destiny cookies ready. No hidden kitties or doggies this week. It doesn't look like. Yeah, that's our 12. So thanks for joining us. This has been Peroty Nitedemon with the quickest show ever. We'll see you guys next week. Roll the credits and we're out.
Yep. Bye.
nothing else has happened.
No. Was there any other news? Because I did see quite a few like tweets come across like as I was working last night of different
Yeah,
things. I put one thing in the show notes for us.
Yeah, so I've got the I have these in reverse chronological order, so because I just pulled them from a little list that I maintain. So we're gonna read these as they happened and then see if they correct themselves over the week.
Okay.
So these are all from Destiny 2 team, which I think is like all that I was seeing. Other than the hey, the servers are down, the servers are back up. The normal hey, there's maintenance windows.
Yeah.
So they talked about the exotic, the weasel errors. Worm God Crest and exotic armor ornaments were causing those. There was an issue impacting the Lawless Silver bundle. I think you were getting more silver and stuff than you should have. I think that's now since been resolved.
Oh, can I say something about that?
Absolutely.
I checked this morning, and on Xbox, and I don't know if it's on anywhere else, but because I'm a member of Game Pass, I can get the silver bundles at a reduced rate, and it gives you 1,700 silver and an emote for the season. So I can get the Renegades bundle with 1,700 silver and this emote for, I think it was £6.89, which is a couple of pounds off. There's also another one that was available from last season. I think that it might have been from a couple of seasons back, but I think it was last season. Again, with an emote and 1,700 silver. And again, it's discounted for me because I'm on Xbox Game Pass. And then looking back on the silver bundles that come with an emote, there's another one with the Atheon chair where you can sit in the Atheon chair. And again, it gives you 1,700 silver. And I was like, oh, if I buy those, that'll give me roughly about 5,100 silver. And I've got this emote and it's reduced. I can get 2 of the new skins that they've put for silver only in the Eververse store. So I was like, I might do that when I get paid. I've got 11 days and I get paid within those 11 days. So, yeah. I don't know if that's on all kind of platforms, if it's reduced if you're part of like PlayStation Plus or something like that. But for Xbox at the moment, those specific bundles with the emote and some silver attached is probably worth getting, because if you just purchase the silver singularly on Xbox for 2,000 silver to get one of the cosmetic skins, it's £16.79, whereas I'm halfway there at £6 something with buying these kind of bundles with an emote. So just thought I'd mention it.
Yeah, there we go. Yeah. I don't know because I don't know where, honestly, where those are in Eververse, but I do see they do have a whole bunch of the Star Wars stuff. The Interstellar Warfare bundle, for the finishers and the emotes, the clandestine cargo, the Galactic Imperial set. They have a bunch of the Star Wars themed ones on sale for silver. So that seems to be at least maybe part of it. I don't know. But yeah, if you're looking to buy things, go do that. Let's see, what else? What else do we have? People were seeing Marion Barry errors when they were trying to log in as a temporary workaround. Dismiss and attempt to log out again. We'll update you when we have a fix, so turn it back off and on again. See if that works. They've corrected the selection of available Banes and higher difficulty match-made portal activities to fix an issue where players were unable to reach the intended score thresholds and earn greater rewards. That was on, that was on the 3rd on Wednesday. On the 4th on Thursday. Upon investigating shortly before release, we found the cause of a soft lock occurring in the coil activity where players exited Riven vendor screen without purchasing anything. This is planned to be fixed and the activity will be re-enabled next Tuesday, December 12th with 9501. So the coil is currently disabled because it breaks if you try to look at Riven and then leave without buying anything, and they'll fix it on Tuesday, where we're getting update 9.5.0.1, which answers the question of when that update is coming out, and in our little roadmap, but not a roadmap, what's coming with that. Due to an issue with the Cabal variant of the Typhon Imperator solo op can cause a crash. It has also been disabled until they can put a fix in a further update. Players will still be able to access the Dread variant without issue. Due to an issue with Vox Obscura, it will be temporarily unavailable in Pinnacle Ops. They'll give us updates when they can. We're investigating an issue where players are losing access to Lawless Frontier activities after finishing the campaign, potentially due to the quest The Territory Begins being present on another character on the account before those characters have completed the campaign. On the 4th as well, due to an issue, the option to purchase the junk Elixir vendor from the Atharsis outpost has been increased to, that's a whole
Ridiculous.
lot of 7,777,777 credits until a fix can be deployed. Yeah, because I saw it was sort of like a vending machine, a slot machine, basically, where you could throw credits at this Elixir vendor and possibly get, I think, illegal armor rolls, which I'm sure is why it got essentially disabled at 7 million plus credits.
Forever put a video out complaining about it because it was perfect for the game at the time, because it was like, it's RNG on top of RNG that people were farming, going off and doing the activities to get the stuff to then come back and throw it at this guy to get like
it gave you a reason to play.
Yeah,
and,
it was.
and
you could get one of the sword mods for it as well from him, just as a random drop, which is what originally I think people were doing, and then they found that you could get these illegal armor rolls with something ridiculous, like I think somebody said 60 sat in like super and 20 in something else. It was like really ridiculous.
Like a 60-20 split. Yeah, I think I saw like a 63 and something, and I can't remember if it was his video or someone else I saw. But I was sort of watching Fallout stream this week again for the the Discord quest and all the various things going on about earning emblems and things. And he was basically being told live about this guy, which I guess like his location was also somewhat RNG, and whether he'd show up at all was also somewhat RNG. So
daily he rotates around on Tharsis space, or on the Cantina area. He'll be in one space and then he'll rotate the next day. So you have to keep an eye on him. So just like you said, RNG on top of RNG on top of RNG, and it's like, and then at the end, you're just getting stuff. And I guess it also would give you just a ton of like low quality junk. Like a toothbrush or toothpaste, or I mean, just like enough stuff where Fallout was like, warning to anyone doing this, clear out your postmaster, because it will completely fill your postmaster with low quality garbage that you may not be super thrilled with if you've now lost access to something you were hoarding there. Not looking at anyone particular, but I saw that they had pushed that to 7 million credits, and I was like, well, that's just a challenge. Someone's going to put out the video of turning in 7,777,000 credits and seeing what he gives me. But you've just thrown the gauntlet down. But so in any of the many videos you may have seen about that, don't bother, because I turned that off on Thursday. Or I mean, basically, set it to 7 million plus credits, where it was like a couple thousand before. Or we challenge you, get it right. We challenge you. That's what they said.
Right, that's what they said. Yeah, because before it was it like an increasing amount of credits, or was it like 2,000 or 5,000?
No, I think it was only like 100 credits each time.
Was it?
But people would. I mean, I went there several times, and I was getting absolutely nothing. I was thinking, do I have to finish the quest? Do I have to finish the story before I get anything from him? And apparently, no, you can just get nothing from him. So I was like, I was doing it right, but yeah,
you were doing right. He was just saying you don't get to have that. That's not for you. So apparently the Mint Retrograde is unavailable, as well as the Spoke Jumper set, because on the 5th, on Friday, Bungie said, hey, we've seen some questions about whether the Edge of Fate gear like Mint Retrograde and the Spoke Jumper set will be earnable again. We're working on a new way of adding a new way to earn the gear from the last season of the game, but it wasn't quite ready for Renegades to launch, and we're currently targeting a future update. So yes, but no, you can't right now earn those things. And then they extend the open access until December 16th, while we prepare a fix for the crash that people are experiencing fighting the Witness, which the issue will be resolved with update. Now this says update 9.5.0.1 on Tuesday, December 9th.
Yes.
So
this Tuesday coming up.
Say the 12th. I don't know. I feel like we just read something else about 9.5.01 coming out a different day. so as of yesterday, they say it's Tuesday, which would make sense. And then finally, they have deployed a fix to prevent players from launching into invasions before their final death mark is taken from the previous invasion was consumed, because it was resulting in bat errors. So again, just more invasions not working as they should. And that is, as of Saturday morning recording time, all the things they put out from the Destiny 2 team that I've seen and collected. I'm not saying there aren't more hiding somewhere, but that's at least all the things that seem to be sort of the highest priority things that are broken, not working, they've tweaked, and they're telling us about. So you can get back to playing your new Gambit in your old Gambit, because I don't know why Bungie just insists on Gambit not being a thing, and then they built an entire Gambit expansion. None of this makes any sense to me.
No.
So where do we go next? I don't remember. I listened to last week's show because I listened to Renard do an excellent job telling us about all the things we're getting, including our Star Wars or our Star Trek update, which I can't wait for. And then Noble giggling like a little boy who was like, make me sound like a chipmunk. And then the gasp he gasped when you were like, yeah, no, I'm going to do this. The gasp of a little boy who feels like, I got away with the thing. I've been caught.
Yeah.
I had a very good time listening. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, you should listen to last week's show because it was good fun.
And apparently there was a message going around last night. I haven't seen it. I was told by Noble, but Renard and Noble apparently are going to start singing for merch. So I said, if you sing and I get hold of it, it's going in the show, regardless of whether there's merch or not. So,
I mean, that sounds like a good Patreon reward to me. I mean, I think that's if our patrons are going to start singing, I think, the other patrons should be able to enjoy the singing as well.
Yeah, definitely.
That's marvelous. Ooh, I can't wait for that. I wonder what kind of song we're going to get.
Oh. But stop using Jedi mind tricks on me and let's talk about Renegades, because it's here. We've played it. Some of us have completed stuff. Some of us, by the sounds of it, haven't completed stuff because of work. But it's, I mean, what are your impressions to start off with?
My impressions, other than the immediate bug I ran into on mission number 2, which felt both very predictable and very infuriating all at once. I've been really enjoying it. I've really taken I don't think I played Destiny in 2 or 3 weeks. I feel like I earned enough weapons and stuff from the last one, and I just said, I don't want to play the same activities over again. I'm kind of done for a minute and just sort of took a break and was a Simpson for a while. And now that I'm back and it's new and fresh, as much as we joke about the, we're cooking hype train, it is just a new, fresh, fresh set of events, fresh game to play with a campaign. It's I really have wanted to spend more time with it this week and just have not been able to with work. But I'm reminding myself that while I think I will enjoy the campaigns, they always just kind of feel like a slog to get through to get to what I want to actually be doing. So I'm playing the campaign on normal. I should have just listened to my gut and said, I'm having so much fun with my Warlock right now and the stupid buddy build. It just feels like walking through content without even having to try that hard. I should have just done it with the Warlock, but I was like, no, I've done every other campaign on the Titan. That's where I should start. So I've been switching around between a couple of builds. I threw together Mactix, I think had talked about a build basically for Strand of basically just suspending all the things.
Yeah.
And then using the might be a bug, might not be a bug with Devil's Ruin, where basically if something's suspended, they're going incandescent and combusting almost immediately. So you can suspend a whole group of enemies and then just blow them all up in one go. And it's been great fun. So I've been having a good time running around with that, trying to remind myself that I no longer need a pulse rifle and an auto rifle for everything because my champions have changed. I don't think I love the sword and hand cannon loadout for champions, but we'll see how that pans out. I'm not enjoying that selection of anti-champion things as much. But yeah, I just haven't really been able to play. I started the campaign. I just got to the point in the campaign where they hook the big giant vacuum cleaner up and suck all the air out of the planet, and then everybody dies. So, spoilery, not spoilery part, since I've watched.
No, that's Spaceballs. That's the wrong content we're talking about here.
No. Same thing. Exact same thing happens.
No, it doesn't.
Nope. Same picture.
Okay.
So I got to that point in the campaign, but yeah, I've been. I guess at this point people have either played or they haven't played, so I guess we don't really need to be too spoilery.
Well, as you haven't kind of got to the end, you can't really spoil anything, and I'm not going to spoil anything. So,
well, yeah, very true. Yeah, I just got to the point where I could drive around a nice nice large vehicles and stomp on everything, which just has me giggling and really enjoying myself. So yeah, just the audio cues, like they really nailed the Star Wars of it, which, again, is either going to be a good thing or a bad thing, depending if you're like, ooh, Star Wars, or Star Wars. But I mean, even just that opening scene of the ship making a getaway and bad things happening, it's I don't know, it's really well done. It does feel like true to both franchises, and also just help me have a greater appreciation for just how Star Wars Destiny is. Like, even, pre Star Wars crossover, it's like, it's still a very Star Warsy story. Like, it's still sort of the same kind of thing. And it feels very natural slipping into this, Star Wars persona in my very, very familiar, these are still Destiny, Destiny big bads we're fighting, Destiny villains, we're using Destiny weapons that have sounds. I can't tell if the Walker is going to drive me nuts with its pew pew, pew pew, pew pew by the end of the season or not.
Yeah.
It was charming, and it quickly got old, so I can't decide if that's going to continue to be a lovely thing or a little grating thing, but it made me giggle the first time I got in there and started shooting things. And sorry, Spider, your barge is not doing so good. I greatly enjoyed the quick. We have to defuse all these. No, never mind. There's too many. Just leave. It'll be fine.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I said, I've been playing on normal with the Titan and just trying to work through it. Honestly, a little bit last night, a little bit this morning, and I don't know. I'm at step like 12 of 45, so I think I've done 3 or 4 of the missions, and I'm sure I've got a handful more. Than I haven't gotten to the exotic one yet, and I haven't gotten to the sit at the bar, talk to someone random, pick up the tape from the bar, and then go see Spider loop that we seem to be in.
See, I didn't mind that because I think it's been missing for quite some time in Destiny. I mean, if you're a Destiny veteran, you'll know let's go and talk to the holoprojector, let's go and walk to the person that's standing next to the holoprojector that was just projected on the holoprojector kind of thing.
Yeah.
And I didn't mind it this time. I didn't mind kind of just doing a couple of fetch quests. Let's run here. Let's speak to this person. Let's go over here, speak to that person. Let's go off and do a little bit of a scavenger hunt and then come back. And it was different for what we'd got recently, I suppose.
Yeah. It was
because it was taken out of the episodes
formula.
and it wasn't really in Edge of Fate. So to kind of have it again. But, Bungie, don't go too over the top. Us accepting it or me accepting it back, because I think a lot of other people weren't accepting of it coming back. Just don't do it all the time. Just every now and then, we don't mind kind of mixing it up, I suppose.
Yeah. It was. I've enjoyed running around the new area too, even though it's been a little frustrating going, okay, the indicator says I go that way. How do I get that way? Am I going up? Am I going down? Am I going through a door? Am I walking right past the person because I didn't stand appropriate enough distance away from them to interact with them? I had that problem. I found the whatever guy, like, not the drunken dread, but like the guy you're supposed to see out just like in the outpost. And at first I couldn't interact with him because I guess I wasn't standing, the proper distance away to be able to get the indicator to show up that, yes, this is someone you can talk to. So I ran right by him 3 or 4 times thinking it was someone else I was meant to find, then realized, no, it's that guy. I just wasn't standing the right distance from them to be able to progress my story at all. So other than just the little bits and pieces of, I know I'm in the right place. I know I'm doing what I'm supposed to do. I just have to figure out, am I doing it slightly wrong, or is it the game? And again, it's week 1 of a new expansion, so like of course there's going to be little weird issues. Yeah, but how did you find the campaign? Did you do it solo legendary again, like your magical lightsaber and your stronghold build, which seems very strong?
It's very strong, and I mean I've been saying it for a very long time, haven't I? And I got quite upset when they changed it, and I'm glad that they changed it back. And I said to you, as soon as I saw lightsabers, if it's a sword coded as a sword and it can block, I'm golden. I'm in my element with it, and it's absolutely fantastic. And I couldn't wait to get to getting the sword, and made me laugh because Noble had messaged and said that he already got the sword and he can confirm that it does work with the strongholds. So, and he played, I think, Tuesday night when it was kind of on the launch, and I always have to wait until the next day to kind of play. So I like played the next day and hadn't got to the point of the sword. And I was like, damn it. So I'm going to have to wait until tomorrow. But then I was able to come back from work and play for another hour or so and do the exotic quest to get the Praxic blade. And from then, yeah, there on out, I've just absolutely loved it. But yeah, I mean, I did it on Legendary and I did it solo only because there was nobody else around. Because I think everybody got so excited about playing it. They'd all logged on the night of, and there was nobody on when I jumped on. I was like, okay, I can do this. Let's go. So I used
have a sword. I just have to stand there and not take any damage.
Yeah, I mean, I've been running the build that I'd run like prior. So I'd been running New Land Beyond and building up those master crit hits on the New Land Beyond. So that was also pretty cool. I think I was using just a scout rifle. So I was using the Ash's Embrace in my secondary slot, or maybe I was using the Furniture Fairer. I was using something there anyway. It doesn't really matter. It just kind of filled in the slot. But then, yeah, I was using my sword from last season. So I was using, which one was it? Was I using the Aura Dawn? So I was using my Aura Dawn, and until I got to get the Praxic blade, I was using that, and then I swapped over the build and went with Praxic blade. I'd got a Han Solo blaster, the Uncivil Disclosure, with what did I get on it? I got Frenzy, Desperate Measures, and Thermal Automation. And in the third column, I got Air Trigger, Lone Wolf, and Delicate Tuning. So I went with Desperate Measures and Lone Wolf with Tactical Heat Seek and Extended Barrel. So I have an impact of 94, range of 97, stability of 98, handling of 82, and reload speed of 100. And it was a 5-star masterworked, amazing weapon that suddenly just dropped through the campain.
I would like to report this man for illegal weapon usage. I'd like to speak to the nearest Vanguard operative.
I put a Masterwork stability on there, and then for the mod, I put tactical, which gives me +7 in handling and +5 to reload speed, which is why it's literally maxed out across the board. And I did have another tier 5 drop, but not as good. But I think it might be good in Crucible with Offhand Strike and Lone Wolf. So I've got that and saved that. But yeah, I'm loving my vault space. And no, Noble, I didn't just empty the Postmasters and then filled up the vault, my new vault. I did empty the Postmasters to the point where I still had like 1 or 2 items in there because I still need that buffer. So in my mind, I know that that's there to kind of buffer the stuff. But my vault is sitting at 759 out of 1,000. So I'm doing pretty well. I haven't decided I'm going to import all my exotics that I dismantled yet. I will maybe at some point once I've kind of got settled. But I mean, yeah, just the amount of weapons that were dropping. I did get a couple of tier 5s, but most of them have been tier 3. I did get a tier 4, but yeah, they'd been on the low side, but they've been pretty good perks. So I've thrown them into the vault to have a look later on. But I absolutely loved the campaign because, like you, sometimes I feel that the campaign is a real slog, and it's a real drag to get to the point of unlocking everything to then get to the point of playing the game that Bungie want us to play, which is the replayability part of it.
Yeah.
And this time around, I mean, like a lot of people have said, it takes 6 to 8 hours, and doing it solo on Legendary wasn't any different. It was still that amount of time kind of added up to get to the point where it's now all unlocked and I can kind of go off and do all the different things. And I really had good fun doing it. And it could have been just because of the build that I had, because I was just literally blocking everything with my sword and using my stronghold build from the get-go, and then swapping over to the Praxic blade and really enjoying that, because that deflects any kind of any weapon back at them. And it's like I'm just standing there, and I've got in a lot of the kind of, as you get further and further in the campaign, they throw a lot of enemies at you, and you are standing there. And if you are vulnerable, like, they just take you down immediately. But with my sword build, absolutely invulnerable. Just amazing how it kind of, I'm standing there with my Banner of War, and the way that I've got it set up, because I had the Bushido set from last season that gives you kind of sword perks and healing perks and things like that. So it's like, I've got all this healing on my side, and I've got the swords that do extra stuff as well. And I didn't go wrong. I mean, there were a few times that I died purely because I jumped in the wrong place.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, going through like Death Star hallways, and there's kind of just a random hole, just as there is in Star Wars. You know, you're walking along, and there's no guardrails, which they kind of kept true to the Star Wars thing. There's no guardrails; you just kind of fall off. So yeah,
The
bouncing around with a sword, trying to
lazy.
deflect other people that kind of trying to get behind you. Sometimes I fell down a hole, but yeah, I really did enjoy it, and it was good fun. And I've now got to the point of going back through and being able to do the exotic mission again, as like I said, with Noble and Hoops, to get the catalyst, which was also really good fun. I've so enjoyed that exotic mission. There's a jumping puzzle through it, and there is a timer if you want to get the catalyst, but we were trying to do all the catalysts all at one time, and it probably works out better if you try and do maybe one or two and then do a third at a separate time, which is what we kind of had to do, because we tried doing all three catalysts, and we got to the room before the final boss, and I don't know how we did it, but we'd done most of the things to kind of set off to get one of the catalysts, but then it didn't spawn one of the bosses, and we were like, what do we do? I said, well, let's just continue and see if we do get it at the end. But we didn't get it at the end, and I think it's because we didn't destroy the little blights in the right order, or before we kind of finished the room before the boss room. So I think that's where we messed up.
Didn't do all the things it wanted you to do, how it wanted you to do them.
Yeah, all before we'd kind of completed that point. And I think as I said, we only had 30 seconds when we actually did the final boss room. And I think if we'd have done the sequence properly and spawned there's a big ogre that you spawn in to kill. We would have spent time on doing that ogre, we wouldn't have then had that in the boss room. We might have then failed getting the other two catalysts. So we kind of looked at it as a win-loss situation that, you know, it's something we can live with. We'll go back through because it's an enjoyable mission, and we don't have to do half the other stuff that we were doing this mission, kind of finding all these hidden doors and all these kind of extra bits of running around to get to the final boss. It's just do this one room, then go to the boss, and hopefully with the timer or negating the timer, we can kind of get that done, or I can kind of do that solo, because I'd done a lot of it solo. I'd watched a couple of esoteric guides, which I will link in the show notes, of where all these kind of hidden things were. And I'd got through, and I got to the boss room with 5 minutes left. And I just couldn't do the boss room by myself with 5 minutes. I wasn't esoteric at that point. I mean, as I said, I could stand there and block, and I could do it at a nice, easy pace for myself. The same with the campaign. But it took a couple of friends to kind of help me get through that point. So, but
sometimes the staying alive is doable, but the staying alive and doing damage is not quite in the cards.
Yeah. And speaking to Noble, the Star Wars element of it doesn't seem to have had a bad effect on him. I mean, he knows a lot of the things. There's a lot of nods to Star Wars. There's a lot of kind of, not rip-offs, because they kind of worked with Lucasfilm,
right?
In developing.
But there's a lot of homages, and that's the thing I was wondering is and there's so much of Star Wars. I mean, even just being someone who would be playing Destiny for an amount of time, like there's enough Star Wars just cultural touch points. Like you're aware of some things, and you've seen some of the iconic scenes or moments, if not in their originality, parodied over the last, 30 plus years of every, TV show, Spaceballs, et cetera. You've seen versions of a lot of this. So it feels, I have to mention, like it feels familiar. Like my wife, who has never seen a Star Wars, she was watching me play, and she's like, this looks like Star Wars. I was like, yep, it is. There's a whole Star Wars thing. So I was curious because I know he's, not a big fan of it, but like it's still Destiny, and I know he enjoys Gambit, so I mean, it's still Gambit. That's why I'm trying to get through the campaign, because I want to get to the running around in the big open world and invade people and be invaded.
I haven't heard, I mean, from Noble's point of view, that it's that on the nose with Star Wars that it's upset him to kind of come back and play. he seems to be very excited to come back and play, and was quite upset that he maybe didn't get back into Destiny at the end of last season to get some of the gear, because he was more adamant than I was about keeping the old gear, because he just didn't want to kind of engage with last season.
Yeah.
And he's now kind of finding it difficult to have builds and things to and get through the content. So he's kind of just throwing anything on, everything on.
Right. Yeah. And did he play enough that I assume he played enough? He is not benefiting from the returner bonuses and stuff. I assume he probably played enough to get past that level 30, so he's not getting all the returner bonuses and stuff, but just also doesn't have all the end game.
Yeah. I did say to him, have you checked
whatever.
out last season's pass on Bungie.net to see if there's anything that you can kind of pull from that? And he said he doesn't believe that he did any of that, but maybe if we remind him now in the show, and anybody else, that, you know, you can access your past reward track via Bungie.net. You log in on Bungie.net and it shows you last one. And also, I think in the show notes, it's there. We've still got links to the Wayback Machine, which is available. I believe it's available on Firefox. You can log in to Bungie.net via your account, and then it will show you anything that you've missed all the way back since we've had reward tracks, and you can pull from there, because there was a lot of kind of things that I'd missed from that. And if you've got like a piece of armor, even if it's like out of date armor, it will pull that armor into Bungie Realm now at your power level. So if you're looking at getting something, you need something that's like, you need that extra couple of points. It may be the one thing that's back on this Wayback Machine that is really old, that you can then infuse into something new that is to the right power level. So I think that's in our show notes. But yeah, I mean, I've heard a lot of people complain about that it's too on the nose for them for Star Wars, and I'm like, really? I mean, that's your complaint, is that you knew it was coming, and I don't feel, as a Star Wars fan, that this
isn't a surprise, or
yeah, it's not. I don't feel that it's that bad, to be honest. I mean, like you said, I mean, your wife hasn't seen Star Wars, but she can still recognise it as kind of a Star Wars-esque expansion, just because of the way it's kind of playing out and different things. And I think if they'd have done something similar without Lucasfilm's approval, I think people would have thrown the book at them and said, "Oh, you're just ripping off Star Wars." Whereas now they've got the permission to do it, people are just still up in arms, like, "Oh, you're just copying Star Wars." And like, well, no, it's a new collaboration with new ideas. And I think there's a lot of things that have kind of come out of this expansion that are really, really good. Number one, I mean, the storytelling is fantastic. And I think a lot of people have forgotten they've already done a Star Wars-esque opening to Destiny 2. I mean, we had I can't remember the name of the ship, but it was like a Death Star, wasn't it? It was the thing that was going to destroy the sun.
Yeah, the thing, and then they were to crash into the last city.
Yeah,
that we had to stop
that live event for
years. Yeah, how many seasons ago? Yeah. I mean, that's, again, you know, I tend to play Destiny and not really think about it in the broader context of things. But yeah, as I'm sitting here playing the Star Wars, and yeah, I mean, we have the Drifter character and just the entire Dredgen, you know, class of characters. So we have this seedy underworld. We have all of these. I mean, we've been working with Spider, you know, the black market dealer, for the last however many years now. Like, it all feels very, you know, all the elements are there. It doesn't feel like a big stretch to say, oh, this, you know, this, you know, how dare you put the Star Wars in my Destiny? It's like, it all feels very natural. These characters are playing the roles that they're being asked to play, and it feels like, you know, sort of like Drifter season 2.0. I mean, Season of the Drifter again, even though it's not, you know, Gambit specific, but it's, you know, we're going and we're playing games, and, you know, it's a very Gambit feel to it, which gives me hope for it coming back and then adding to the portal and things. But, like, you know, I mean,
he does mention that. He does mention it at the end of the campaign in one of the cutscenes. He says, "Well, at least the Vanguard still let me keep Gambit." So I thought I'd let you know about that. The Vanguard are aware that Bungie are aware.
We know, we're aware, we get it. But yeah, I mean, it is still, again, it's, I'm trying to figure out how to put the words into my head here. I didn't realize just how much I didn't really care for the Kepler campaign with the stupid little ball. until playing this one that just feels so much nicer, and just I really didn't vibe with the Kepler campaign, and just I really didn't enjoy that. Like I got through it, I played it the one time, but Kepler I really just kind of ignored. I mean, for all the reasons we talked about, and the loot not being there, and it sort of being separate from the whole thing. But I really enjoyed this because it feels part of the game world and part of where I'm going to go next for the loot. It really felt like, hey, you've done the thing on Kepler, great. Now, unless you're visiting a location in one of the playlists, you're never really going back again. Like would I like a tier 5 Giver's Blessing? Sure. Am I going to replay all those missions over and over and over and over again? No, I'm really not. But I'm excited to get through this campaign and play what's after that, which I think is a big difference for me this season. Is I'm excited to what's coming next versus going, okay, what's coming next is more of the same, and then I can wander around this planet that doesn't have loot for me.
True. And I think that's the thing, isn't it? I think Edge of Fate's campaign or story for the campaign was fantastic. The story took Destiny in a new direction.
Agreed.
And was amazing. Absolutely loved it. Would I like to play that campaign again? Have I played that campaign again? No. I did it once through on my Titan. I have not been back since on my Warlock or my Hunter. Now this campaign, although it is shorter and I found it easier, it might be different, might be completely different on the other characters. But I wouldn't mind playing back through this campaign on those characters and unlocking for those characters. I'm actually excited to do that. And I think, like you were saying, with the Matter Spark and the Mattermorph and the whatever else it is I think that they leaned too hard into their Metroidvania thing for that expansion. And I know this is one of their things that they were saying, we're going to start leaning into these kind of different genres and give, Destiny players something new in Destiny, but it may still make it feel Destiny. But just to have to keep using that Matter Spark throughout, like Kepler and doing all the different things was just really tedious and felt just really shoved down my throat at the time. And I mean, don't get me wrong, I still love Destiny and I still played it. But once I was kind of done with Kepler, I was done with Kepler. This, Renegades, I feel that I could go back and play it again with the other characters and have a really good time, especially if I'm going back through with other people. It would just give me a little bit more freedom with my builds and what I'm kind of doing with the other characters.
Yeah. I mean, I think basically what we're getting to is, Bungie said, we've told our big decade-long saga, we're in this new saga. It's going to be bits and pieces. We're going to sort of take inspiration from games, which I think, sort of need to add, like some of this, some of these things we will enjoy, some of these, maybe, Metroidvania, maybe, isn't really my thing. I enjoyed parts of this, but it wasn't my thing. So, as they go through the different inspirations they're taking, some of them might be ones you love and some of them might not be, and that's fine. It's like not everything has to be for everybody. No. I think a lot of people, unfortunately, the Edge of Fate campaign really turned a lot of people off. I mean, in addition to just, all the problems with the grind and everything else, I think the game is in such a better spot now in terms of, not resetting everybody. And, to your point, getting a bunch of like 300 gear through the campaign on Legendary. It's like, well, at the time, we were going to be moving, working ourselves back from a lower light level. So, the campaign needed the light level, up to 300 plus. So yeah, it's like, I wasn't upset getting like the 300 drops because I was also getting, some 400 and 500 drops out of it too. Yeah. It's like this was built in a world where we were going to reset and do all this, which honestly I would have been okay with there. I don't know if I want to do the entire thing again, but it would have been interesting, I think, to compare, again, like, the Edge of Fate campaign initial grind versus, now with all the fixes they put in place, hey, does this now truly feel like a much better experience, or is it still, missing a lot of things that would have been nice? It would have been sort of nice to have that like A/B test of, we did Edge of Fate, we did that grind, now we're going to do Renegades. How does it feel to make that same rise with all the fixes they put in place? But I mean, I'm not going to be upset about grinding about not
No.
grinding back for power, but it is a little bit just like, okay, I'm here. I have a campaign to get through. It is, I don't know. There's something I enjoyed about the power climb. I wish there was at least like maybe a little bit of power. Again, I'm still not 550. I got again to like 510 or 520, and I just didn't feel the need to hit 550. And again, I sort of got enough weapons and armor and said, I'm kind of done. I'm going to wait for Renegades. So I still have a little bit of a power grind to go, which I'm sort of excited about. Like I have something sort of to chase in addition to the new weapons and the armor pieces and all that good stuff, which is, that's what I've always really enjoyed, is getting, that little bit of chase for power in addition to just, hey, I'm going to get the same, I'm going to get those weapons and armor and figure out what the new exotic is and this and that and the other. Oh, which reminds me, so you did the campaign on your Titan and you've gotten the new jetpack?
I have,
exotic? Have you used it?
Don't be silly. I've got strongholds. What am I doing? It went in the vault. It went straight in the vault.
Yeah.
It went in the vault.
Yeah, that's something I was curious about, because I'm like, I never really used the jump jets that we have to begin with, and I don't know. It seems sort of like the person who put out the video I saw about the Arbor Warden and going, oh, I've got this build for the Arbor Warden, where you can throw your Baronade out, and I'm going, yeah, that may be. I don't know if that's ever going to be for me. So I'm that's one of those, like, I'm curious about this exotic, but I just don't know if this is going to be an exotic I am excited to get a hold of. I don't know. I was curious if you had used it at all and had any comparisons against the other either Destiny 1 or Destiny 2 versions of jump jetting we had and flying around in space. But
I haven't played with it yet.
Yeah, no, I don't. Well, I don't picture. The Titan isn't exactly the best, fly around in space class either. So, I'm not sure we're best equipped to be the whatever the bigger, larger, heavier version of an AC-130 is, flying around and raining havoc down from above.
Yeah, but like you were saying with the Renegades campaign, and I think I said this before when they said that they were going to backtrack on taking the light level away from us, and I was like, well, that is one of the grinds. That's one of the kind of chases that we like to all kind of do. Well, I say we all like to do. A lot of people moan that they have to keep regrinding light. But it would have been nice to see, as you said, see what the Renegades grind was or would have been like. Because once you've kind of done the campaign, you can kind of just constantly stay in like the Renegades like expansion and do the invasions and do the bounties for the different factions and kind of level up your factions. And I think it wouldn't have been too bad of a grind to do that and still get the loot and still be looking for the tiered system. But they changed their minds. And as we were saying with the comparing the Matter Spark and the Mattermorph, and I can't remember the other one, but with the Renegade abilities,
all the matter nonsense,
it's night and day. I did have to remap like some buttons because I was pushing the same buttons that I'd mapped for my melee. So every time I was doing that, I was like doing a melee. I was like, no, I don't want to do that. So I've now got it to, I think I have to press A and B to get my Renegade abilities up. So that's pretty cool. But
I did think my melee was broken a time or two, not realizing I had actually clicked into the Renegade abilities.
So yeah, with those, I didn't feel the necessity of using those through the campaign, and because of my build, I was just kind of just walking through. But a lot of people have been saying, it's really handy that you can summon those abilities whilst you're on board a ship, whilst you're doing this, whilst you're doing that.
Yes,
and I have really utilised them doing invasions because I wasn't aware. Well, I was sort of aware and wasn't really kind of paying attention. I saw a TikTok video from, I'm going to say Mattix, but it could have been anybody else on TikTok that was going over the different abilities that you need to level up first. And somebody said, level up the one that gives you your health all the way to max. And I did that when I got to the end of the campaign. It was one of the things I was like, oh, I'll just level all that one all the way up because somebody said to do it. Maybe it was Lucky 10p actually. Said level it all the way up to the end because that will be the most beneficial for kind of invasions and blah, blah, blah. And I went and did some invasions, and the first one went really bad. I got teabagged because obviously, that they were so superior. They were sitting sniping from a point on the map, knowing where I'd be coming in. It was like playing Gambit again. And then I got teabagged. But the second one, I was able to kind of go in and just it was a bit of cat and mouse and fun kind of to kill people. And then the third game that I played, I was playing against this warlock that constantly had his super up, and I was like, how is this fair? Is it the same guy? Why am I just getting Nova bombed as soon as I kind of spawn in?
What is the trick?
It wasn't until I realised that that's the ability that Lucky 10p was saying have leveled up. You throw down the coin, and it boosts your super and all your abilities to max within seconds. So I could have a Thunder Crash Titan every single time that I landed in and did an invasion. So I'd go in, throw the coin down, get my super filled up, go and kill somebody, pick up their crest, so that's 2 points. If I was able to get a third kill and pick up the crest, that was fantastic. Sometimes I got killed, and then when I had to go back, but if I had to come back, I could throw out another coin, or you could throw out the coins any point. So you could throw your coins out after you got the first kill, and then throw another coin out, get another kill, and you can pick up some of the pots that are around to give yourself health, to give yourself heavy ammo, and recharge your renegade abilities. So you still have access to those on their map as well. But yeah, you could just use that over and over again, because I thought, what can I counter a Nova bomb with? Thunder Crash. So yeah, but that was fun.
Yeah.
So yeah, I didn't necessarily need to use those through the campaign. It wasn't until I kind of got to doing the bounties and doing the invasions, I was like, I could use these, because strongholds and a sword don't really work in PvP, which is good. Bungie, it definitely does not need nerf. I know some people have been saying that it's going to get nerfed. Do not nerf it. It is fantastic where it is, because if you look at everything else that's kind of going around with all these super builds and overpowered builds with nothing manacles, my blade build just standing there, it's nothing compared to that.
Right. Yeah. I mean, like you're surviving. You're not doing game breaking damage. You're not doing any, you're standing there. And yeah, there's ways to spec it so you can do some outgoing damage with that as well. But yeah, you're largely just standing, reflecting, and being a mobile respawn point. Whereas yeah, I've seen people talking about the nothing manacles. Someone was just like, "Hey, can you put a build together?" And somebody was just like, "Nothing manacles, grenade stat. There's your build." Done, dusted, have fun with it. So yeah, I'm playing through on the Titan for now, but I may have to go back to the Warlock, because it's real good. Warlocks are having a real good time, and that buddy build just makes me giggle. And I'm sure I've seen Plunder's up to stuff again. I've seen he's putting more things out, so we're gonna have new and exciting and insane things to play with. But yeah, things, and just I can't tell you how nice it's been to swap weapons around, to go into an activity and swap a weapon, realizing that I forgot to put on an anti-barrier, an anti-something weapon, and be able to swap it in the activity. I have not yet hit a locked loadout, and it's been such a nice change. Just again, I mean, that's it. It feels like such a small complaint, but it affects my enjoyment of this game so much by just going, "Oh no, you've put this build on. I hope you were paying full attention and you're ready to go." Well, no, I wasn't. And now I'm stuck with this the entire duration of it. It's been such just these little, I don't even want to say quality of life changes. It's basically undoing a change you made that wasn't necessary to begin with. I'm not here to try hard. I'm not esoteric. I'm not going to try to waltz my way through this. Here I am at -40 and I'm doing this and that and I'm doing this solo and I'm getting all these no. I work hard and I'm tired and I just want to go in and I want to shoot aliens in the face and I want to have fun while I'm doing it. I'm not here to try to win and be the best. I just want to have a good time, and that's the locked loadout thing really was just killing the enjoyment of. Honestly I played the first mission of the campaign earlier this week. And then honestly jumped into a bunch of PvP, just did some control and some cutting edge control because they all had bonus drops up for. And I've just had a good time just messing around with that, not going with any kind of build, just running in on the Titan and the Warlock just with whatever build I had on, and just going, we're not going to take this that seriously. We're just going to have a good time. And I've just had so much fun playing Renegades, whereas Edge of Fate and Ash and Iron just wasn't as much fun. Like it's it's the things we've mentioned, but it's also just, I don't know, it feels like Destiny again. It feels like a lot of sort of the missteps from Ash and Iron and Edge of Fate they've sort of pulled back on, in addition to giving us this beautiful aesthetic and beautiful storyline to play in a whole new set of characters and locations and everything. So it's which is not to say, oh, everyone's everything's fixed, the game's back, hey guys, we're all saved, but it does really feel like they saw the reaction from Edge of Fate and really said, okay, we tried this, it didn't work. We took a big swing, we did a thing that clearly wasn't what the people wanted, and they've rolled back a ton of this stuff in Renegades. Now, granted, I'm not through the campaign, I'm not very far into it. I may be right back complaining about things again in 2 weeks, but for right now, I'm having a really good time with it.
Yeah. And I think the other thing is that I haven't touched the portal. I think I might have done one thing in the portal, and that was only because I was trying to do those orders. And then I thought, I'm not going to be bothering with that because I just want to play the Renegade stuff. You don't have to touch the portal. If you don't want to do the portal and get some of the new kind of weapons that are in there or the armor pieces, you can just stay in Renegades because there's new armor and new weapons in Renegades. It's that good, with the fact that you don't have to just constantly bang your head and grind out salt mines till your eyes bleed. You can just kind of do the Renegade stuff with like your normal bounties without having to do the ones where you worry about the invaders, or you can go and do the invaders, or you could be the one that is getting invaded and you have to go up against the invaders. It's just, I know it's only a small thing, but you're leveling up the different vendors, and there's 3 different vendors, and as long as you're kind of not playing for like 10 hours at a time and just trying to level up those vendors as quickly as possible, there's still going to be some gameplay in that. And if they expand on what they've kind of started now, going over kind of the next 6 months to a year or even beyond that we can still visit this kind of canteen area and go to the different factions and kind of pledge allegiance to them, and they have different rewards each episode or season or whatever we kind of calling them. But it kind of just keeps it fresh, that and maybe add more planets. Let's have some bounties that need to be taken place on some of the planets that have been taken away that should now kind of be back. There's Mercury and Io, and we've got Venus in there, so it's its own separate kind of thing. I mean, I will say that about the portal is that it's got a little bit more kind of confusing to navigate to where all these different things are. I mean, the Renegade stuff is front and center in kind of the world that's popped up there. But then to get to the tower, to get to Kepler, you have to kind of hover over the little teeny weeny nodes that are just underneath that to get to those. And then you can push left and right and go up and down all over the place, and it'll take you to a different subsection of the menu. But if you go to the world map and try and get onto Kepler from that way, you can't do it. You have to kind of, or even to get to Renegades. But you can get from Renegades and Kepler out into the world map and things. It's like really confusing for me.
Yeah. Like it was confusing, but honestly, I think, again, it's still early, but I think I like it more. It was interesting. Yeah. Like you said, I really haven't touched the portal. I have, I've done, again, like I jumped into Crucible through the portal, and I said, well, I'm not playing competitive with, my no loadout, no anything. So I've been, going between Control and Cutting Edge Clash just back and forth, because again, there was, additional drops and things there. And I've done some of the arena ops because, again, I really enjoy, match made activities. So I've played a number of, I haven't done the Nightmare Containment, but I've done a number of catch crashes and I think an Astral Alignment. But the catch crashes are hard. And I don't know if it's harder than we're remembering. If, obviously we're spec differently. There's probably a bunch of people who didn't play catch crash and don't really know what to expect or all the mechanics of it. but I've been unsuccessful in Catch Crash a number of times, which is frustrating in one regard, but also just kind of feels nice because I'm just in playing with people. I'm trying out new weapons. Like I'm able to switch around. Like if a weapon isn't working, I'm like, okay, this isn't very good. Let me try something else. It just feels better. It feels nicer to go in and play those bigger activities, especially when I look at Fire Team. I'm like, oh, okay, we have the first 3 things are match made, and then everything else is not match made. All the other pages. I'm like, sorry, other pages, I'm never going to visit you. So I'm happy to have just more things to play. And yeah, it was interesting where Renegade is in the portal. I do like how they made put like the Edge of Fate and the tower up there, because the tower was always just sort of weird where it was. I do like how it is sort of like, hey, Renegades is up here in your upper left. That's where you want to go. Also, here's Edge of Fate. I do think it was funny how it's just like on this timeline now.
Yeah.
Like, oh yeah, by the way, this whole other planet, it's just on this timeline. We used to have a world we could put in a solar system. Now it's just kind of over here on the timeline. Don't pay any attention to it. It's just kind of there. And yeah, how we basically have, I just love we have a new director view basically now inside of the portal for Tharsis Outpost, and then all my various, the derelict and all my various story missions and things. So it's like, okay, so we went from director to portal, and then we built the director into the portal for each new expansion. And maybe that's the plan going forward. I don't know, but I just thought it was funny. It's like, oh, we're going away from this. No, just kidding. We're going back to this.
Yeah. It's in there. But
yeah, it's in there. It exists, promise.
And I don't know whether it's because it's a Praxic blade and it's a lightsaber-y kind of thing, but I'm more excited to go back and do all the different things to get that, to customize it. Whereas the Graviton Spike from Edge of Fate, I got it. I haven't got any of the bits for it. I haven't, because it kind of, you had to go back and do all those extra little bits on Kepler, and it was like, oh, I really just, every time I completed one, there was a new one that kind of, and I know it was like they tried to get you to play the area, but it was like, well, go here and do this and be Matter Spark or do Mattermorph, and I'm like, I don't want to do that. So I haven't done it. And with the blade, there's a few RNG parts to it. There's the exotic mission that you have to replay, which is a really nice exotic mission. So yeah, it's there's that as well.
I'm right there with you. I think I did the first little bit of collecting the parts, and then again, the Graviton Spike was never going to be my weapon. That was never going to be oh my god, let me get a hold of that. But I had for the longest time, I've collected a lot of exotic weapons that I didn't care about, just to at least have them. And now again, my time to play has changed and things too. But now I'm just at some point it'll be available in the kiosk. If I need it, I'll pick it up. But I'm just I didn't want to go and replay unfun things in Kepler over and over again. And I was really trying to, at least in my head, keeping a more positive outlook on Kepler and things. But I just really, I really feel like I played all of Kepler that I wanted to play and was just done with it. And it was go do it 3 or 4 more times and do it on this difficulty and that difficulty. I'm like, no, I'm just not interested. I'm not going to, the Pale Heart I went back to time and time again. I got Ergo Sums. I played those activities. I spent some time on the Pale Heart, and Kepler really was yeah, you're here. Yeah. And like you said, the story, the narrative, fantastic. The narrative, absolutely wonderful. I enjoyed the story of Kepler so much, but just the gameplay with the ball and all the different matter forms, it just felt tedious. After the first time, it just felt so tedious to have to go through. And and now I'm just running around. I'm going to get a lightsaber. And the fact that you had to
keep using it in the final boss as well. It's like, I don't need to do that in the final boss for this.
Right.
For me, he was a bit of a walkover, but it just and I think that might be my only complaint, that it was a little bit more of a walkover. But that again could have just been the build that I was running, whereas other people might have struggled, because I know Noble and Hoops were saying yesterday they'd done it on normal just to get through the campaign, and they were like, "Oh God, we're worried now about doing it on Legendary with all this and all that kind of going on." And I was like, it might not be that bad, to be honest.
Yeah. It did feel better. Again, I'm playing through on normal as well. Again, just because the exotic doesn't excite me, and I just I want to get through it to get to the rest of the content, to go to the rest of the game, and like there's whole rooms where it's just like there's just people everywhere, but like they're not really shooting at me, they're just kind of there. And obviously I can see in Legendary this being challenging because there's a lot of people, and I presume they're going to try to kill me. They're not just Vex and Code standing there; they're Vex and Code standing there, and they're upset at me. But yeah, like I could get a feeling for just how how packed full of combatants those rooms are going to be. So I'm thinking, anything that allows you to really lead into those subclass verbs and take advantage of blowing things up or strapping detonators to chests or using the arc lightning, any of that stuff just seems like it'll be great fun in this because you have so many combatants and they're packed so closely together. Like you can really just lean into that and say, well, I'm just going to use your numbers against you and blow you all up. It's going to be great.
Yeah. So I say overall, I definitely would recommend people coming back and trying Renegades because
if all the things from Edge of Fate, if all the things from Edge of Fate just really bothered you and really turned you off, I'm not going to say I'm not going to say everything's fixed and everything's perfect now. No. But it is so much better, and like you can ignore the portal. You can go play the game kind of like you were used to playing the game before, and go do the activities you want to do, and rank up these vendors. Hey, vendors are back. Or factions.
Yeah,
are back, and
it's really good fun to run around on Tharsis because there are vendors that are out in the markets that will sell you stuff that you just like. Well, hang on a minute, what? You can buy enhancement cores for the junk that you collect or the credits that you've kind of got or you've earned through doing the different things. There's armor pieces that you can kind of go and throw at the vendors. There's hidden vendors that will give you stuff or just random stuff, and sometimes it's good stuff, sometimes it's bad stuff. And you can rebuy the exotic that you get at the end of the campaign for the credits and get a different roll on it. So they've added so much extra couple of layers to these different areas that it's just fantastic. Just to have, it feels like the tower should have been the tower, but it's not the tower kind of thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, like the portal made the game feel like such a weird, sterile little like here's the 6 activities you can play every week. And this feels like we're back in a world like we're back going to the helm, and then we're headed off to wherever wherever Failsafe was sending us from the helm. Like it feels like we're back in a living, breathing universe again, and not just a series of 4 playlists to choose from the portal. Like further indictment of the portal. It didn't feel like a world. It felt like here's a little menu you can click into and do things. Yeah, like we're back in a location again, and it feels wonderful. And just all the secrets. Like I can't decide if I want to have everything sort of spoiled for me and find all the little secrets, or sort of like stumble across them myself. But just the number of people who are like, oh yeah, you can go and get this new blade, blade piece from this box where you can just give credits to that, sells blade pieces periodically and exotics, and just running by the number of things that, of course, I had 20 credits or something at the time, but running through all these vendors and things and just going, oh, I'm going to be able to interact with you and buy things. It's not just set dressing. Like there's so much, so much of the destination sometimes just feels like set dressing. Like there's boxes here and people here, but it's not things you can interact with or do anything with. Where now it's like, no, these are actual vendors you can interact with. These are people you can buy things from. Like it is a living, breathing marketplace that where any number of illicit goods may be purchased. Yeah, and can we just talk for just a moment about the lightsaber or the Practic Blade animation?
Yeah, we can talk
about it. I don't know why I was thinking. I guess I just wasn't I wasn't thinking about it at all. And the moment I saw someone just, standing there blocking, waving that lightsaber all around, deflecting things, I was like, that's perfect. That's beautiful. Like, again, just the amount of care and the attention to detail this expansion got with all these little bits and pieces. Even if you don't care about Star Wars at all, this isn't even a Star Wars thing. This is just this got a custom animation, and it's just funny going, pew, 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 and just swinging the sword all around and just deflecting everything back. Like it just makes me smile. And I feel like I've spent the last however many months going, yeah, look, I'm playing Destiny. Like it's fine, but it's not. I'm not loving it. I'm not enjoying myself like as much as I used to. I'm sort of doing it out of necessity to some degree, and it the little bits of joy just feel really nice after what we've been playing through an Edge of Fate.
Yeah. And I think with the lightsaber, it's something that they still need to kind of do going, continue in Destiny with maybe with different weapons, not just exotics, but make it that you have to build these weapons, or you have to go and collect things, or you have to play certain playlists to get certain parts of it. Whereas like with the lightsaber, if you do invasions, you have a chance of getting the red crystal to put into your lightsaber. If you do X, Y, and Z, you can get it from here, here, and here. It's like, that's fantastic, because that gives you the replayability and gives you, if you want to, go and do these different things. And I think if they did that going forward in Destiny with different weapons and things, to maybe not, I mean, it could be to actually enhance the weapon, but it could also just be for cosmetic reasons, to make your gun look like something really ridiculous or make it look amazing. It's just something to give people to go and do that would excite them to kind of go and do.
And like you said, there's the whole economy of all the credits. Like you're not just going and doing to just get these pieces. You're earning credits to then take back to all these various vendors and to get these materials or buy these exotics or buy the lightsaber piece. It's like it's a satisfying game loop where I'm going and I'm playing an activity and I'm earning not just maybe some end game or special loot like for the lightsaber, but I'm also just earning credits to go spend in the other vendors to also just to continue to get things. Like I feel like my time is being rewarded. I'm getting something I can spend and enjoy. It's not just let me go grind for this, let me go grind for this, let me go grind for this and hope I get it. Because that gets so old so quickly when you continue not to get it over and over again. Then you're like, well, I just wasted 3 hours trying to get this, lightsaber piece to drop and it just never dropped. Versus, well, now I at least have a whole bunch of credits and now I can go spend those to unlock this or that at the vendors. Or, hey, I'm setting myself up, in my eyes, I'm like, hey, I'm setting myself up for success later on in the season. I'm going to have these new materials that I'm going to need to, unlock the new renegade abilities or unlock this or that. It's a much more satisfying loop than let me go up to the slot machine and hope I get this one thing and then I'll be disappointed if I don't.
Yeah. I mean, I know you said about like with the whole kind of Renegades thing where it doesn't feel kind of out of place in the Destiny universe because those characters kind of fit. And this is where, we've been playing with Spider and Drifter all these years and it just kind of fits. Whereas when you were saying that, I was like comparing that to Star Trek, and I'm not being horrible to Star Trek. I absolutely love Star Trek, and I absolutely love Picard. But going from Star Trek: The Next Generation, where it's all nice and clean, and there's no kind of fighting, and it's all this and all that, and then seeing Picard, and you get to see the underworld of what's kind of really going on beneath the this glossed over Star Trek world. Is really interesting and really engaging as well. But it's like that was going on at the same time as you seeing all this lovely, nicey kind of stuff in Star Trek Generations or in the Next Generation. And it's just they both work.
The PR, right? Yeah. The Next Generation on the ship. Yeah, this was the PR arm of join the Federation, go off and fight wars, or go off and not fight wars, go off and explore and be
with peacekeepers and all of this, and then you see the seedy underbelly of everything that goes on. And I didn't think that was something that that was taking place until I saw Picard and thought, oh wow, this is a really cool take on what's actually happening. It's still kind of the nice stuff, but then there's still kind of the corrupt, the corporate, and just all this seedy underbelly of things that are kind of happening. And it's very similar to kind of Destiny. Yeah, we've got the kind of the nicey and the Vanguard are looking after the city and they're trying to keep everybody safe and hide things from them they don't really need to know. But there is this other side that does these kind of shady dealings, and the government's just kind of not turn a blind eye, but they know it's happening, but they're like, well, that's not too big for us to kind of get involved in, because we've got the big bads over here. We're kind of dealing with like the Borg coming in, or a rogue Klingon vessel and things like that. It's like, we'll let that kind of go on over there. So yeah, just like to say that.
Yeah. No, I'm with you there. Yeah, like that's Star Trek was such like comfort food growing up, because yeah, it is just like idealized. Hey, we're post work, we're post money, we just fly around in a ship and explore and hang out and solve problems every week, and
Yeah,
it like in a lot of ways, I think because I've been thinking rewatching some Star Wars stuff or Star Trek stuff and honestly on Star Wars as well recently, like trying to think about like just how they're different and what they what I enjoy about them, sort of what they mean to me. And it is a lot, just like it's almost like the police procedural like in space, like, hey, we're gonna have an hour, we're gonna encounter a problem, we're gonna figure out this problem, we're gonna solve the problem, and then, hey guys, we're all gonna get together and do it again next week. Like, it's very neat and tidy and clean. And yeah, and it's just like this idealized world of, oh no, we're not warfaring, we're not violent people. Back home, there's a whole haves and have-not split. So I think we haven't quite gotten it all worked out yet, but we're working on it. Yeah, trust us. Just don't look at don't look behind the curtain there. Nothing is going on to worry about. Just shh, that's not for you. But yeah, I mean, it's going to to Tharsis outpost. It just feels very real. It feels like, yeah, we're on. I mean, we're out. We're out in the universe again. In the portal. Even though we were on Kepler didn't feel like a place. Kepler just felt like a, almost just like a space station. Like, it just wasn't. It wasn't a real location. It was like, oh yeah, there's these scientist guys here, and they're just kind of here. Like, it could have been Deep Space Nine. It could have been anywhere. It wasn't like a real place, like a real planet and location, and with a thriving population of inhabitants.
Or a place that you could transmat to and kind of sparrow around, and you could pick up, do the same things that you can kind of do on the Cosmodrome and the EDZ and all the other kind of locations, and build from that. I mean, maybe that's something that they could include later on.
Yeah, it almost felt like Mercury, where like, yeah, you couldn't use your Sparrow for the longest time. It was a place you could go to, but it didn't feel like almost like a second class location. It wasn't quite the same as all the other places we visited and all the other ways we can fly around and explore in the same way. And it just felt different and just not Destiny in a way. Like, I don't know how to put it, but yeah, it didn't feel like a Destiny thing. It was like, again, they took a big swing and said, hey, we're going to do this. And, I'm the first to admit, not everything is for me. And I don't expect everything to be for me. I don't expect to love everything Destiny's ever put out. Like, it's, some things are going to land and some things are not. And, I'm going to play what I enjoy, and the ones that I don't, will be like, we'll check in with you guys later on. I'll play enough of this to at least feel like I've gotten my money's worth, and, gotten the enough mint retrogrades to have what I need. But then going forward, we'll check in with you guys next time and see where we are. We've had this good, decade plus long relationship, and we'll see where we go after that.
Yeah. I mean, we're not even kind of going over the weapons and the arm. All the armors have changed. So no matter where you go, it's a new set of armor with new perks on it. And I think we'll kind of leave that for now for this week, because there's so much to dive into with the weapons and the armors and what they kind of do. There hasn't been any reviews on all the different armors and stuff yet. So I just thought I'd mention it. It's just like they've really gone all out on the weapons and the armors, whereas they could have just kind of rehashed the armors that we had in the Pinnacle, the Crucible, the Vanguard, the Solo Ops again, and just gone, oh, it's just carried on so you can kind of collect it. No, we're going to give you fresh sets that look different with all new perks. But as I said, we'll get into that next week, I guess.
And how happy are you that you have a place to put them?
Extremely happy. And one thing that you mentioned earlier about kind of doing the Ergo Sum stuff, what I have noticed is if you have access to it, and you can do the 12 Guardian Matchmade Excision mission, that now gives you a chance at getting the Ergo Sum Catalyst. So you don't have to do the one which was the Grandmaster version you can still do it to get a guaranteed but you have a chance at getting it at just doing the regular one if people load in or if people don't load in that version. So that's something they've kind of updated. I thought it was pretty cool.
Yeah, definitely.
And as I'm talking about things like that, I'm going to tell you now what the stuff's happening next week, because there are some things that have changed in the portal, and they've taken some things out and they've put some things in. So, yeah, give you an example. The 3 dungeons that we got in the Pinnacle Ops, we had Pit of Heresy beneath the Necropolis, Duality Nightmare of Goron, and Warlord's Ruin. We had Heffin's Vengeance, but it's changed. They've given you Warlord's Ruin, Locust of the Wailing Grief now. So you have to listen to me tell you all the other things that have changed in This Week in Destiny now.
We're going to do that right now.
This is your weekly rundown for Destiny 2 Renegades. Week 2 starting on December 9th. This week sees the continuation of the new expansion for Destiny 2, Renegades, sending Guardians deep into the belly of the criminal underworld to save a friend whose past has caught up with them, as you forge uneasy alliances that pull you deeper into a hidden world of shifting loyalties and escalating conflict. Added to the portal this week will be the new Vanguard Alerts tab, which consists of Vanguard, Arena, Crucible, and Grandmaster Alerts. Rotating weekly, Vanguard, Arena, and Crucible alert playlists contain a set of activities that are fast, uncomplicated to complete, and have preset modifiers, while the Grandmaster alerts are more difficult activities, offering greater rewards for your time and effort, as they're like the Grandmaster Nightfalls of old. Also included in the Vanguard alerts are the Desert Perpetual Raid and the new Equilibrium dungeon. The Vanguard alert tab can be found over in the Seasonal Hub, where you can view the playlist activities for the week, see the rewards, and view the activity challenges. Also, this coming Saturday, December 13th, Guardians from around the world will have the chance to become legend once again, and battle in the Renegades world's first dungeon race for the new dungeon, Equilibrium. But don't worry if you can't find a fire team, as the stream team of CB Grey and EvanF1997 have you covered at Bungie HQ with all your favourite streamers. And if you tune in for the dungeon race for 1 hour via Twitch, you can be awarded with a Paranoia Pink emblem as a Twitch drop. Plus, Destiny 2's Open Access Week has been extended by 1 more week, which includes access to the full Edge of Fate campaign and activities, all legacy content, and all currently available dungeons, with all currencies, weapons, armour, titles, triumphs, and cosmetics that players earn during the week being theirs to keep forever. In the Portal Crucible Ops this week will be competitive, control, and a variant of Cutting Edge, with no Trials of Osiris at the weekend. Other non-featured modes of 3v3 Showdown and 6v6 Momentum Control can be found over on the Crucible Director. In the Solo Ops we have Skywatch, the Salt Mines, the Conflux, Creation, K1 Logistics, and Caldera, with the new Solo Ops Typhoon Imperator. In the Fire Team Ops we have the Reclaim Mission Cabal's Watch, Highest Battlegrounds Moon, and the Sunless Self-Strike. Battlegrounds Behemoth, Core, Oracle, Foothold, Delve and Conduit, Expedition Nessus, the Strikes of Liminality, Hypernet Current, Insight Terminus, Fallen Saber, the Devil's Lair, Proving Grounds, the Inverted Spire, and the Glassway, Empire Hunts the Warrior, Technocrat and Dark Priestess, and Savathun Spire Offensive. We also have the new Arena Ops, with Season of Plunders Catch Crash, Season of Loss Astral Alignment, and Season of the Haunted's Nightmare Containment. In the Pinnacle Ops we have the 3 dungeon layers, Pit of Heresy beneath the Necropolis, Duality Nightmare of Goron, and Warlord's Ruin Locust of the Wailing Grief, with Onslaught Midtown and Episode Revenant's Contest of Elders. New to the Pinnacle Ops we have the exotic mission Vox Obscura, with the Dead Messenger exotic Waveframe Grenade Launcher as the main reward, and Episode Heresy's Dear Allies mission, for the Barradide exotic submachine gun. Returning exotic missions include Heliostat, with Wolfsbane exotic axe as the main reward, Presage, with the Dead Man's Tale exotic scout rifle being the main reward, Node Override Avalon, with the Excalibur exotic glaive being the main reward, Starcrossed, with the Witchkeeper exotic bow being the main reward, the Whisper, with the Whisper of the Worm exotic sniper being the main reward, Kel's Fall, with the Slayer's Fang exotic shotgun being the main reward, and Encore, with the Choir of One auto rifle being the main reward. Over on the Lawless Frontier, the contested territory will start this week's rotation with Mars. On Kepler, featured Mission 1 this week will be the Invitation, and featured Mission 2 will be Gouge. For our Legacy rotation, the Dreaming City this week is at a weak curse level, which means Petrovenge can be found in the Strand, and has the Broken Courier mission for the next week. The Blind One features Scorn enemies and the Plague, Sigrus and Veracus. The Ascendant Challenge will be the Forfeit Shrine over in the Gardens of Vasilia. On the Moon, the weekly story mission is Beyond. The Trove Guardian and the Wandering Nightmare, the Fallen Council, are both located in Archer's Line. Nightmare hunts Fogoth, Fear, Crota, Despair, and Fanatic Insanity. The Altars of Sorrow will start this week's rotation with the Nightmare of Tanix and the Apostate Sniper. On Europa this week, Corodis the Dark Priestess will be the Empire Hunt, Eventide Runes will be the Eclipse Zone, and the Exo Challenge will be Survival. Dares of Eternity Expert difficulty rounds are Vex, Cabal, and Crota. The Scatterhorn armor set and the Perfector's armor set will be available in Days of Eternity with Weapon Set 2, Scaithlock, Extraordinary Rendition, Brass Attacks, Threaded Needle, Code Duello, Imperial Needle, Far Future, Honor's Edge, Distant Terminus, Interference 6, Shepherd's Watch, and Annual Skate. The Witch Queen Weekly Story mission is The Arrival, Altar of Reflection's Choice, and Altar of Reflection's Pact. The Wellspring activity will start the week on attack with the Kinetic Bow, Feltar Diddle, and Borgon Hive Knight as the boss. The Lightful Weekly mission is First Contact, the Partition mission will be Backdoor, and the Vex incursion will be Zephyr Concourse. In the Power Heart is the Exotic Class Item mission Dual Destiny, and the 12 Guardian Match-Made Excision mission, with a Grandmaster version guaranteeing you the Ergosum Catalyst and an Ascendant Shard. The Lost Sector rotation for this week will start with Exodus Garden 2A on the Cosmodrome, Aphelios Rest on the Dreaming City, The Quarry on the EDZ, Concealed Void on Europa, K1 Communion on the Moon, Thrillerdrome on Neptune, The Conflux on Nessus, Metamorphosis on the Throne World, and The Broken Deep in the Power Heart. All legacy raids and challenges are now available all the time, and at present there are also no featured raids or dungeons each week, but you can farm past raids and dungeons for their respective exotic weapons, with no weekly lockouts. Over on Kepler we have the Desert Perpetual Raid, and Desert Perpetual Epic Raid, with both versions dropping tier +3 loot, with the Giants of the Exotic Rocket Launcher Whirling Ovation to drop. Also, with a new dungeon Equilibrium coming this week, the Sundered Doctrine dungeon over on the Throne World will fall under Legacy content, where you'll be able to farm for the exotic Linear Fusion Rifle Finality Zager. The exotic Mission Rotator will be Chaos Fall, over in the Legends tab, with the Slayer's Fang Exotic Shotgun being the main reward, and the Episode Revenant weapon set. The exotic missions The Whisper and Zero Hour will also be available in the Legends tab. And that's it for the second week of Renegades.
And now you know what's coming up this week in Destiny. What you should be doing, playing. Will we ever see another Iron Banner again?
Not yet. No. We've got Dawning to come. We've got Dungeon Race next week. Then we've got Trials back the week after when we have the Dawning. So there's good stuff to come. And to help you through that, I have some videos. I'm guessing you might have some videos, but I've definitely got some videos. So I have the guide from Fallout Plays of how to get the Praxic Blade. So that goes through all the different steps and doing the jumping puzzle in the exotic mission. It's not too bad. You can kind of do it. But if you get stuck in the exotic mission, I also have the 360 Gaming TV How to Balance the Dark and Light Blights in the Fire and Ice guide. I have the Easy Guide from Llama, the complete no BS guide to the Lawless Frontier, farming, loot, and more. We also have Say Walla Bra. What if we gave everyone free aimbot? And he's talking about the new submachine gun in Renegades. So I'll let you kind of check that one out, find out all about that. Fallout has also done the damage testing for every super in Destiny 2 because they got updated. Because me and Noble told you about things like that last week, I think. Was it me and Noble? Might have been me and Renard. One of the two. They sound the same.
Same person. Can't tell them apart.
Yeah, they just put on different accents.
That's it.
And then I've got your 3 builds for each class. So we've got the Broken Lightsaber build, makes you invincible from Mactix. He's also got you one for Void Hunters, is now a boss DPS beast with this build. That's for your Void Hunters with bows and your blah. That's the ones, the Orpheus rigs. And then we have another Mactix one, which is your Nothing Manacles. This build is so good, it plays the game for you. And it really does. So I've got you 3 builds and stuff to kind of get you going. I don't know what's left for Peroty, but go on, tell us what you've got.
Yeah, well, I'm gonna have to sort through my list real quick and say, okay, you talked about that one, talked about that one. Because yeah, I've watched largely the same things. I didn't watch a lot of the teasery stuff from last week. I think if if you made it this long into the show, I mean, first off, welcome and thank you. I think I don't remember where, and I don't have the link in front of me, but like basically the Mr. Fruit review of Renegades was basically it's more Destiny, and that'll either be a positive or a negative for you. If you're looking for one sentence, is Renegades worth coming back for? After we've talked about it now for the last hour or two, basically it's more Destiny, and that's either a positive or a negative depending on how you feel about the game and how you feel where it is. But let's see. So we've got, I'm just going to say everybody's Nothing Medical builds. I think Maven put one out, Error put one out, Mactic. I think everyone has put out a Nothing Medical builds. Basically, max out your grenade stat, throw on nothing manacles, and just let those little grenades go to work and stand
laugh.
back and just
laugh.
Yeah, just laugh and laugh and laugh. I'm just going to point you towards Plunder the Booty's channel again, Plunder THA Booty. He's, I think, on the top of our TwoTitansAndAHunter.com website and resources, and also we talk about him often because he just gives you everything. 11 minutes ago, Hunter's just won with his new build. It's unrivaled, so he just added another Hunter build. He's done the strongest Warlock build you'll ever see. So yeah, Titans, you are insane. Like those have all come out. He has a new tank Hunter build that's basically God mode. Those just all in the last 2 days. So again, Plunder the Booty's channel, perfect, wonderful, no nose, 10 out of 10. He has all the good stuff for you. If you've been wondering, I'm at 500 or 550. Why am I not getting tier 5 gear from things? Error has the fastest way to get your tier 5 loot in Renegades. I think TLDR is basically run the campaign, go to Spider, and he'll give you something you can buy to give you like a +1 to your loot tier for everything. So if you're sitting here going, why am I getting all this tier 4 loot? Go push yourself to tier 5. You'll be happier. Give Error a little bit more love. This might be the most broken build ever. Again, just nothing manacles and scatter grenades. Just, who doesn't love another perspective on standing back and just giggling over grenades, doing the work for you? I would not be allowed back if I didn't say that Maven put out the buff Armamentarium always deserved, because who doesn't love an Armamentarium build? Again, I'm legally, contractually, required to talk about it just like the Sweet Business. So she put that together. Because, sometimes you just need to armamentaire, because that's good times. And another thing I'm legally obligated to talk about is the Sweet Business. Not the Sweet Business itself, but apparently we're getting a legendary Sweet Business, the Bitter End, which I believe is going to come from the dungeon. It's a 900 RPM machine gun, almost like a legendary version of Sweet Business. Which, if you're running your Actium War Rig, this could be good fun. So that one's from Astacross. And then I did see in the patch notes from a couple of weeks ago, I think maybe November or something, this waiting for the montage from Hirna, HYNRA. I don't know how to say his name. But of course he has responded with, this montage is for the dev that wrote this in the patch note. So if you want to see him doing insane things in PvP with bows, he does not disappoint and created the video that the devs were asking for. So yeah, that's what I've got for this week. And, in addition to everything you talked about, I'm sure we'll have more stuff. Yeah. As people get in and continue to play and give us more things. More good things to come. But yeah, I feel like I should have nothing manacles on right now running scatter grenades. I feel like I'm missing out.
You must be. Now, do you need to go and do that and let AI Peroty end the show, or do you think you could do it without being a chipmunk this week?
I sort of enjoyed being a chipmunk. It was sort of a rush. I sort of enjoyed
I can still make you sound like a chipmunk if you like.
Well, maybe. Well, I will put that power in your hands, and I will say, you'll either be hearing me as me or hearing me as a chipmunk. And really, I just say blame Noble either way. I think if I Noble in the street and just be like, this is all your fault. You know what you did. Because he's one of our lovely patrons. Exactly. Because, like you said, a patron request is a patron request. Who are we to say no?
These people have gone to patreon.com/TTH and said, you know what? I cannot be threatened with a good time. I, Renard Calant, Lord of the Cat People, can't be threatened with a good time. We tried. Can't be done. Our grenade throwers of Wart Wizard, Golden God 1562, Noble, the Mancuno from Texas, and Feral, phenomenal grenade throwers. We thank each and every one of our lovely patrons. So yeah, if you have requests, who are we to say no? We love saying yes to things. Everything except for that one word that sounds like besmirch that starts with an M that we may get some songs about. I'm excited. I'm excited to see. Oh, I hope it's a sea shanty.
Demon, I hope we get a sea shanty version.
I heard it might be a Christmas song.
Ooh, that also acceptable. If you could turn the Christmas song into a sea shanty, 50-50 shot. I'm happy to get whatever.
Yeah. So until next week, we're gonna be running around becoming the warlords we were always meant to be. Thank you for joining us. I may be Alvin the Chipmunk. I may not be. You're just gonna have to find out. I've been Peroty. He's been Nitedemon. We're your Titans. You can find the show wherever you get your podcasts. We're everywhere. Just search Two Titans and a Hunter. You can email the show, TwoTitansAndAHunter.com. Or sorry, TwoTitansAndHunter@hotmail.com. I know how things work. You should subscribe to YouTube. Really, if you're not, what are you doing at this point? YouTube is where everything is. If you say, I want all the goodness, go to YouTube. You have every single episode of what Ada 1's going to have for you, all your Eververse goods, what's happening next week, this entire show. If you're like, hey, I want to see Night Demon's the lovely gameplay in the background, while listening to YouTube blather on, go there, listen, hit the like button. We appreciate you. This show, all our shows, all the show notes live at twotitansandahunter.com. We have resources at the top. We have all the videos we talk about every week in every show. They're in the show notes. They're there. We're going to make this real easy for you. And if you want to join our Patreon, go to patreon.com/TTH. If you want a more casual encounter, coffee.com/twotitansandahunter. That's ko-fy.com. And, twitch.tv/twotitansandahunter. Because, Demon has already downloaded the lovely visuals for you. Then you'll see some more lovely visuals of him just standing, swinging a lightsaber while absolute chaos erupts around him. Completely unbothered, stiff upper lip. He could not care any less.
Exactly.
And until next week, tell the people goodbye.
May the Force be with you.
And with you.
Two Titans and a Hunter, a Destiny 2 podcast.